This is a video about how to manage your web forms on your Magento website. So first, log into your dashboard as an administrator. Look at the top menu for the menu item Web Forms. Mouse over it and click on the sub-menu item Manage Forms. Okay, so here we have 10 forms that we've created already. We're going to click on one of them to edit. So we'll edit the top one here, Form 9. Here we have the general information that appears above the form, the text that appears after the form has been submitted, and some other things like the button text and settings such as that. So what we want to do here is we want to edit some of the form fields. So we can go into the fields here and see that there's a ton of form fields. Well, first let's go back and look at the actual form. When this form is viewed by the public, this is what it looks like. The text up here, some fields in this contact info section, some more fields here, and so on, until you have the submit button at the bottom. So if we look at field sets instead of fields, you'll see the same sections we just saw here. Practice CDs, junior high titles, right here. So we can sort whole sections of fields using these values. The lower the value, the higher it will appear on the form. And so if we want to make the agreement appear first, we could give it a sort value of 1. It doesn't make sense to do that, but that's the idea. And when we've done our settings, we save right here. So we can add another field set and then add fields to that field set. We can edit a field set. I'm clicking on contact info right now. It just gives us general information, position, the title of it, whether or not it's enabled or not. Okay, so one thing, a lot of edit fields in this whole section, and so you don't lose your bearing, just you look for this back button to go back to where you were. So those are the sections. Now let's look at the fields. These are all fields. They're all assigned to different sections. They all have their own sort number, right? So like if we click on name, you see it's assigned to field set. So different form fields are have different types, like a checkbox or a text area, and so this is where you set that up. Typically it's going to be like a text box, a checkbox, radio button, a button, but sometimes you need something more specific, like a date, a select area where you have a drop down with several selections. So it's all an option there. And then whether or not the field's required is often a one that you want to set up if you want to make this a required field. And the position, like we just went over. This will position the fields relative to one another. So if we want one field to appear before another, and so on, you can mess with the position value. And then when you're done, you just save. So we'll go back. And so that's how you edit form fields and form field sets. For general settings about how the form will behave, well, actually more email settings is more relevant. So typically when you have one of these forms, often you want to email somebody when the form is completed. So by default, it'll usually email the administrator. So those are the settings you do here. You can set the notification email address, who it goes to. You can also set it to send to the person filling out the email, right? So whoever fills it out assuming they put in their email address, they can receive an email of that form. So those are the email settings. And then there's more to this. Obviously, there's other settings you can mess with, but that's the general idea of how you can update your forms to edit the fields or add fields. And when you're done, you just check your end results on the form page and test it. Send a couple form posts. I think that goes over the basics. And so if you have any questions, just go ahead and connect with me, and I'll show you around. Thanks.